Good evening, viewers and listeners of Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you again for coming back. I always appreciate your presence. Today is January 26, 2024. I have several news updates to share with you. Breaking news from Ethiopia, breaking news from The Hague, ICG court. Uh, it ruled against Israel in the case of the ongoing war against the Palestinians. That is a victory for humanity, the victory for South Africa, for its courageous stand to bring the case to International Court of Justice when all neighbors of Palestine are silent on the case. They are silent. Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, you don't even see any discussion in their parliament. You see courageous stand, for bringing very tough, controversial, very tough. South Africa took the risk of bringing this case to International Criminal Court. Now they have a positive outcome. It's a victory for them. It's a victory for Palestinians. It's a victory for the global community who has been on the street demanding ceasefire, demanding justice, demanding an end to this merciless Israeli military bombardment in Gaza. So that is a breaking news from International Criminal Court. We don't know Israel, very powerful in the world, will accept it or put it into practice. We're gonna see. They already say they don't want, they don't want to accept it. They want to continue with merciless oppression in Gaza. But it's a very huge diplomatic victory for South Africa and for humanity at large, who has been defending freedom, justice, and fighting against genocide. It's never happened in my life. I never seen. Yes, there were so many military operations against Palestinians, but I never seen the complete destruction of Gaza City and the complete attempt to eradicate Palestinians from their land. So this is a clear genocide. I hope they will rule. They will come to this ruling in coming months, years, maybe. That one will take long, but temporarily, the court decided to hold Israel accountable. And I have several reactions from Israel, from EU, from Amnesty International, from Palestinian representatives. I have on video, I have in reading. So we'll share that one. And in case of Ethiopia, Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister Demek Mekonnen forced out. So the rumor from the Habesha Broadcasting is correct. Now it's confirmed by Addis Standard, Bloomberg, and other medias, including this Prosperity Media. So it's confirmed now. He's gone. And that Hamasgan Turun is replacing his place. Let's listen to this. I have English translation thanks to Addis Standard. I will start with that one and continue with International Court of Justice ruling. Thank you again for coming back. So, this is Mr. Demek Mekonnen. Just removed from his post, and now he's appreciating
32 ዓመት ያመራር ጉዞ በጣም ብዙ
talking about 32 years public service
ፈተናዎቹንም ብዙ ጉዳዮችን
with all its
ያየሁበት
challenges and positive
ስራ ባልደረቦች ጋር የሰራሁበት በአንድ ሆነ በሌላ መልክ ብዙ ጉዳዮችን እንዳውቅ ያደረገኝ ዘመን ነው። ከጊዜ ወደ ጊዜ የአመራርነትን ዋጋና የኃላፊነት ሚዛን እየተገነዘብኩ እንድሄድ ያደረገኝ ነው። ወንድሜ ተመስገን ወደዚህኛው ቦታ ሲመጣ በቅድሚያ እንኳን ደስ አለህ ማለት እፈልጋለሁ።
ተመስገን ጥሩነህ is replacing him.
የአመራር ቦታ በተለያየ ላደር እሱም በአመራርነት ቆይቷል።
This is for my listeners to understand Amharic, but I have English translation from Addis Standard.
አመራር ወደ ላይ ካለ ጋር ተከባብሮ አቅጣጫን ጠብቆ ተጠሪነትን አክብሮ መምራት ወደ ታች ያለን ኮሊግና አመራር ደግሞ ማዳመጥና ኃይል ማሰባሰብ ሜንተር ማድረግ የበለጠው ጥሩ ነው ብዬ አስባለሁ። መጣር ይገባል እላለሁ። መልካም የሥራ ጊዜ ይሁንላችሁ። በጣም አመሰግናለሁ።
So this is the Mr. Temesgen Turuneh replacing Mr. Demeke Mekonnen.
እና በእነዚያ ሁኔታዎች ውስጥ በተለይ ሁለቱ በቀኝ በኩል ያሉ ሁለቱም አመራሮቼ በጣም ረጅም ጊዜ እንወያያለን እንነጋገራለንና እስካሁን ለሰጡኝ ድጋፍ ለሰጡኝ ኮቺንግ ለሰጡኝ አመራር ለፓርቲያችን ፕሬዝዳንትም እንዲሁም ደግሞ ይህን በጣም ረጅም ጊዜ ያካበቱትን ልምድ እና ደግሞ በሁሉም ዳይሜንሽን በሁሉም ኢንቫይሮንመንት ሀገራቸውን ለማገልገል የወሰዱት ኮሚትመንት ሁላችንም ልምድ የምንወስድበት ነውና ለክቡር አቶ ደመቀም እንዲሁም ለክቡር አቶ አገኙ ለእናንተም ላቅ ያለ ምስጋና መስጠት እፈልጋለሁ።
ክቡር አቶ ደመቀ በጣም እድለኛ ሰው በኢትዮጵያ ታሪክ ውስጥ ረዘም ላለ ጊዜ በጣም በርካታ የመንግስት የሥራ ኃላፊነት
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is talking about Demeke Mekonnen contribution, his commitment to serving the Prosperity Party. He's appreciating. So that is his tactic whenever take out individuals, he will say some positive things, he will give them medallion. No, that is a strategy. So they are showing us now what the Prosperity Party contributed for the country. But in reality, Ethiopians are suffering from inflation, suffering from unemployment, suffering from war crimes, including genocide in Tigray, now war crimes in Oromia and Amhara region too. So, yes, they are celebrating their victory, but people are suffering. Ethiopians are suffering.
አስበን ተመካክረን ተነጋግረን ጊዜ ወስደን አመታት ተወያይተንበት የደረስንበት ውሳኔ መሆኑ ከምንም ጉዳይ ጋር ተሰስረ የሌለው መሆኑን የማዕከላዊ ኮሚቴ እንዲገነዘብና በዚሁ አግባብ ውሳኔ ሐሳቡ እንዲቀበል ለማለት ነው። መስከረም
አድርገን
ነገም ሳንሳቀቅና እርዳን አግዘን ብለን ለመጠቀም የሚያስችል ልምምድ አንዱ የብልጽግና ምልክታችን
Okay, so this one is the International Criminal Court.
The court considers that, with regard to the present situation, Israel must, in accordance with its obligations under the Genocide Convention, in relation to Palestinians in Gaza, take all measures within its power to prevent the commission of all acts within the scope of Article 2 of the Convention in particular.
Bravo, South Africa, bravo. Should be appreciated when all the neighbors were silent. The close neighbors, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Iraq, Iran, all of them, they didn't bring the case to the court.
I believe that in exercising the order, there would have to be
That's the
a
South
ceasefire.
African
Without
foreign
it,
minister.
the order doesn't actually work.
They ruled in favor of humanity and international law.
Yes.
The charge of genocide leveled against Israel is not only false, it's outrageous, and decent people everywhere should reject it.
You didn't get your way. I hope you will be accountable. I hope so.
It is gravely concerned about the fate of the hostages abducted during the attack in Israel on 7 October 2023 and held since then by Hamas and other armed groups, and calls for their immediate and unconditional release.
هم نفسهم اسرائيل قبل ما يطلع القرار بيقول لك احنا مش معترفين بالقرار، ايا كان القرار مش هيلزمنا بحاجه، وهذا للاسف تجربتنا مع اليهود حسب التاريخ يعني.
It's crazy. This is crazy. Okay, one more video from Palestinian ambassador
Thank you
at
very
UN.
much, for being here. Obviously, now you see that there is an emergency Arab group meeting. We called for that meeting, earlier today, so that we will react in the same day that the ICJ adopted, the provisional measures. We are grateful for that. It is a historic day, and we are in close collaboration and consultation with South Africa. In fact, we met with them in Kampala at the level of foreign ministers, and they instructed, and we agreed with them, that once the ICJ adopt the provisional measures, the two delegations of the State of Palestine and South Africa will coordinate in New York as to what needs to be done. In fact, this morning, we had a meeting in the Algerian missions along with the delegation of the State of Palestine and South Africa, and we thoroughly analyzed the historic provisional measures, and we are digging into all the details in order to take the appropriate steps, which of course these steps will be in the Security Council. If one to look at the provisional measures separately and collectively, it gives the clear message that in order to do all the things that they're asking for, you need a ceasefire for it to happen. So all these things, we will analyze it and we will discuss it collectively in the Council of Arab Ambassadors to take the steps that we need to take very soon. So fasten your seat belts. You are into a very powerful, trip. Today is Friday. We had all these meetings on Friday, and we will begin, more active processes with members of the Security Council on Monday, and also a meeting or briefing of the Security Council, and a product as well. But we are in these initial stages.
and we are reacting well. And the presence of so many of you here is a testimony of how much you are interested in this issue. We thank you for that, and we will keep you informed as we move forward step by step. Thank you very much.
استجابة سريعة لقرار محكمة العدل الدولية، ولكن يبدو أنكم لا تزالون متمسكون بكلمة وقف إطلاق نار، علما أنه لم يرد في قرار المحكمة. هل يمكن تجاوز هذه النقطة وطرح صيغة أخرى في مجلس الأمن في القرار الذي أشرت إليه؟
أولا شكرا على تواجدكم. نحن ندقق في كل الحالات التي شبيهة بوضعنا التي تمت في الماضي وهي قليلة، حتى الحالة المتعلقة بأوكرانيا وروسيا لم يأتوا الذين قدموا الخطوة من الجانب المؤيد إلى أوكرانيا إلى مجلس الأمن. فيما يتعلق بحالة قديمة عام 1993 متعلقة بيوغوسلافيا سابقا والبوسنيا هرتزغوفينا، جاءوا إلى مجلس الأمن بعد قرارات احترازية من مجلس الأمن من محكمة العدل الدولية، ونحن ندقق في تلك التجربة كذلك للاستفادة منها. ما سنقدم عليه بشكل جماعي، حيث دعينا إلى اجتماع طارئ مع الجزائر وجنوب إفريقيا، لأننا نحن في الجانب الفلسطيني باتفاق على أعلى المستوى مع جنوب إفريقيا في كمبالا أنه حال صدور القرارات الاحترازية ستحال إلى وفدي دولة فلسطين وجنوب إفريقيا لأسباب مفهومة إلى نيويورك. ونحن طبعا أقدمنا على خطوة الاجتماع مع الأشقاء في الجزائر كونهم الممثل العربي في مجلس الأمن، ودعونا إلى اجتماع طارئا لمجلس السفراء العرب، وتروه خلفي حيث سأدخل إليه بعد أن أنتهي من هذا المؤتمر الصحفي، حيث سنناقش وندقق في اتخاذ كل الخطوات الضرورية. بطبيعة الحال سنبدأ في التشاور مع أعضاء مجلس الأمن، سنبدأ في التشاور كذلك حول جلسة علنية لمجلس الأمن، والاستعداد لصدور مخرج من مجلس الأمن يتعلق بتنفيذ هذه الأمور. نحن نرى أن قوانين اتفاقية التصدي لجريمة الإبادة الجماعية هي ملزمة لكل الأعضاء، للدول الأعضاء والأطراف فيها، من ضمنهم دولة إسرائيل ودولة فلسطين. ولذلك بعد ما أقر اليوم صباحا أحيل كل ذلك إلى مجلس الأمن، لأن هذا هي الأعراف المتبعة في هذا الشأن، وما أقرته المحكمة هو ملزم لكل الدول الأطراف أي لإسرائيل. وبالرغم من ذلك نحن نتدارس في الخطوات العملية التفصيلية المتعلقة بالذهاب لمجلس الأمن بهذا الشأن المتعلق بتنفيذ ما دعت إليه محكمة العدل الدولي. أشكركم وسنتواصل معكم دائما.
What do you make of the ICJ ruling and Israel's allegations against UNRWA on the same day?
Okay, so I don't want to take questions. Okay, so that's a victory for Palestine, a victory for South Africa, a victory for all who stood against Israeli aggression, Israeli indiscriminate bombardment of Gaza and the Palestinians. More than 26,000 killed, and more than, I think, 70 or 60,000 injured. Gaza completely destroyed, and settlers and military operation in West Bank. Nowhere is safe in Palestine. So that's, even though this court didn't call for immediate ceasefire, still it's a very huge victory. And we'll see. It's also maybe an indication the genocide case could be proven in the future. It's like, usually the court taking, temporary injection, it's a high magnitude. It's a high magnitude. It may be an indication genocide will be proven in the hearings, in this court hearing, and it will be proved by evidence. The evidence is clear. If you can see from Gaza, no house remain undamaged. All house, all buildings, whether schools, mosques, United Nations, shelters, hospitals, churches, nothing left, nothing left. So that's a clear indication of Israeli genocide on Palestinians. I hope the two-state solution will come sooner than later. The country, the Palestine is already destroyed. Human life is lost, but still, we demand the two-state solution immediately with the help of international community. US is supporting, UK is supporting for a long time, and other European countries are supporting. So I don't know what they are waiting for. The more they wait, the more the Israelis will have more, opportunity to destroy their cities and to kill more Palestinians. So it's a great victory day, really. Let me read at this standard on the removal of the Mekonnen, Ethiopia's deputy prime minister and the foreign affairs minister. So he's now replaced by Mr. Turune, Tamasgen Turune, as a party. But I hope he will come and replace him as a foreign minister. We'll see. Breaking, it says, Ethiopia's deputy prime minister and the minister of foreign affairs departs. Demek Mekonnen, Ethiopia's long-serving deputy prime minister, who also doubles as minister of foreign affairs since November 2020, is departing from both positions as early as today. Addis Standard has confirmed from a credible source close to the matter. Yeah, it's already confirmed by Prosperity Party media, Fana. Demek, who is the third vice president of the ruling Prosperity Party representing the Amara wing of the party, has also been relieved of his position as of today. He is replaced by Tamasgen Turune, Director General of the National Intelligence and Security Service, NISS. This was announced at the ongoing meeting of the Prosperity Party Central Committee members, as you have seen on the video. Although Demek has served as Deputy Prime Minister since 2012, his elevation as the Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs came during unprecedented reshuffle by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in the wake of the war in the Tigray region in November 2020. Demek replaced the then Foreign Minister Gaddu Andargacho while maintaining his position, the Deputy Prime Minister. Demek's career at the federal level began in 2008 when he became the Minister of Education, when the late Meles Zenawi was Ethiopia's Prime Minister. Prior to his appointment as the Minister of Education in 2008, Demek was the Commissioner of Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission in Amara region. He was also the head of the region's Administrative and Security Affairs Bureau. Between 2005 and 2008, he served as the Vice President and head of Capacity Building Bureau of the region. But his bigger career leap within the then ruling party, Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, EPRDF, would arrive when he was appointed as deputy chairman of the party and subsequent as deputy prime minister, when former Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn took the premiership following the death of Meles Zenawi. In 2015, the Mecca became an important focal point among the international community after the failed rains and the advent of El Nino left a staggering 8.2 million Ethiopians in need of emergency food assistance. As Deputy Prime Minister, the Mecca was put in charge of organizing the much-needed humanitarian response between the government and the humanitarian partners. His coordination works were credited for effectively responding to the crisis before it claimed lives and livelihoods of millions. Party career. Demmeka became a prominent figure within the Amara regional state politics following his appointment as chairman of the then Amara National Democratic Movement, ANDM, in September 2010 during the 9th regular session of the party, replacing party stalwart Adisu Lagasa. The Mecca would go on serving as chairman of the Amara Democratic Party, ADP, the rebranded name for ANDM, and the deputy chairman of the EPRDF until the dissolution of both in December 2019 and the establishment of the Prosperity Party, PP. During Prosperity Party's first convention held in March 2022, the Mecca was elected as the second vice president of the party after Abiy Ahmed and Adam Farah, president and vice president respectively. Thank you at this standard for this update. So this one, South Africa president hails ruling against Israel as a step toward justice. South Africa's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, hailed the World Court ruling on Friday imposing emergency measures against Israel over the war in Gaza as a step towards justice and said he expected Israel to abide by it. The International Court of Justice, or ICJ, ordered Israel to take all measures within its power to prevent its troops from committing genocide, punish acts of incitement, and take steps to improve the humanitarian situation as it wages war against Hamas militants in the Gaza strips. It stopped short of demanding a ceasefire and has not yet ruled on the core of the case brought by South Africa, whether genocide has occurred in Gaza. The ruling could take years. In quotation, we as South Africans will not be passive bystanders and watch the crimes that were visited upon us being perpetrated elsewhere, end of quotation, Ramaphosa said in an address to the nation, referring to abuses committed against black South Africans under the apartheid regime. Israel has called South Africa's allegation of genocide false and grossly distorted, as you saw in the video. Bringing the case to the UN's top court has been a major diplomatic victory for South Africa, which has long championed the cause of Palestinians, likening their plight to its own oppressed people under apartheid, a comparison Israel strongly rejects. wearing the kafi headscarf that has become an emblem of solidarity with the Palestinians' cause, Ramaphosa watched the ICJ's proceedings with fellow members of the governing African National Congress ANC party at a gathering outside Johannesburg. Party officials sang and danced after the ICJ's verdict was read out. At a separate gathering in Cape Town, party officials were similarly upbeat. In quotation, "We have basically taken the first step to end the violence against the innocent Palestinian people. We are extremely elated and happy about the judgment today," end of quotation. An ANC official in Cape Town, Justin D. Allende, told Reuters. So that is deserved to be celebration in South Africa. It's a victory, as I said. It's a victory for them and for all humanity who stood against genocide. This is from EU, European Union. It says, EU expects full, immediate implementation of ICJ orders. The latest reaction to the ICJ's interim ruling has come from the European Union. In quotation, it says, "Orders of the International Court of Justice are binding on the parties and they must comply with them," end of quotation, the European Commission said in a statement. In quotation again, the European Union expects their full, immediate, and effective implementation, end of quotation, it added. Credit Al Jazeera. This is statements from Amnesty International. It says Israel must comply with key ICJ ruling, Amnesty says. Amnesty International has called the court's order, in quotation, an important step, end of quotation, that could help protect Palestinians from, in quotation, further suffering and irreparable harm, end of quotation. The ruling issued by ICJ ordered 6 provisional measures, including for Israeli to refrain from acts under the Genocide Convention, prevent and punish the direct and public incitement to genocide, and take immediate and effective measures to ensure the provision of humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza. The court has also ordered Israel to preserve evidence of genocide and to submit a report to it within 1 month of all measures taken in line with its order. This is a big deal for the country that acts more than, above the law, untouchable. So this is a big deal to preserve the evidence and to report to the court within a month. This is a big deal. That's why you see anger from Palestinian officials, Israeli officials. Against Karl Mark, Amnesty's Secretary General, says the interim ruling, in quotation, sends a clear message that the world will not stand by in silence as Israel pursues a ruthless military campaign to decimate the population of the Gaza Strip and unleash death, horror, and suffering against Palestinians on unprecedented scale. However, again in quotation, the ICJ decision alone cannot put an end to the atrocities and the devastation Gazans are witnessing. Alarming signs of genocide in Gaza and Israel's flagrant disregard for international law highlight the urgent need for effective, unified pressure on Israel to stop its onslaught against Palestinians. An immediate ceasefire by all parties remains essential, and although not ordered by the court, is the most effective condition to implement the provisional measures and end unprecedented civilian suffering. End of quotation. So that is statements from Amnesty International on the ruling of ICJ. So now Israel may be taking revenge, but with some kind of excuse, stop flying to South Africa. Let me read what it says. Israel El Al suspends South Africa road over World Court case. This is reported by Reuters. El Al Israel Airlines, El Al.TA, said on Friday it was suspending its route to Johannesburg at the end of March, citing a steep drop in demand after South Africa accused Israel of genocide at the World Court. So they claim maybe it's a marketing issue. I don't think this maybe is a revenge against South Africa. Israeli's flag carrier flies up twice weekly non-stop to Johannesburg. In quotation, Israelis do not want to fly to South Africa, end of quotation, said an ELL spokesperson. In quotation, they are cancelling flights and the planes are pretty empty. We understand it is the situation because it was different before. Okay, these are all maybe excuses. The fact that the Israeli don't want to go to South Africa but do want to go other places help us decide that we are proposing that road, end of quotation, she said. The company also cited the current security situation. Israel has asked the court to reject the case outright. An Israeli government spokesperson on Thursday said they expected the United Nations Top Court to throw out these spurious and specious charges. Yeah, but the court rejected their claim and confirmed South Africa's case. ELL said once it had stopped flying to Johannesburg, it would shift the wide-body aircraft it uses on the road to expand current destination to North America and Bangkok and Tokyo in Asia while examining new routes. Okay. Good luck with that. This is from Israeli government side reaction. Benjamin Netanyahu already rejected the ruling and vowed to continue its military bombardment against Palestinians in Gaza and elsewhere. This is also another maybe government official from Israeli side. It says Ben Gvir slams ICJ as anti-Semitic. This is ridiculous thing. Keep coming recently. Mostly it's widely spoken. It's a very challenging one. If you say anything, you are anti-Semite. It's a very challenge for the United States citizens too. You cannot have a different opinion. If you have a different opinion about Israel, you are anti-Semite. This is a very challenge against the freedom of speech in America. And senators, congressmen, high politicians, or harassing, intellectuals, students who are, having a different opinions. It's a very tough one. So anti-Semitic is an excuse. Ben Gavir slams ICJ as anti-Semitic, says Israel should ignore ruling on provisional measures. So he's telling Israel to continue its oppression despite the ruling. National Security Minister Itamar, this is a high official from Israeli government. National Security Minister Itamar Ben Gavir slams the International Court of Justice for issuing a series of provisional measures against Israel, calling the international body anti-Semitic, in quotation. Anti-Semitic. Anything he says anti-Semitic. Any word. And the ruling. In quotation, the decision of the anti-Semitic court in The Hague proves what was already known. This court does not seek justice, but rather the persecution of Jewish people. Wow. They were silent during the Holocaust, and today they continue the hypocrisy and take it another step further, end of quotation, he says. The ICJ, in its current iteration, was founded in 1945. Quotation, in quotation, decision that endangered the continued existence of the State of Israel must not be listened to. End of quotation. Ben Gavir adds, we must continue defeating the enemy until complete victory. That is their intention. So the court is anti-Semite, and this high government official rejecting. So I don't know how they can enforce it. These are the government officials acting above international law. Thanks to Biden administration, thanks to Anthony Blinken, continued support for this genocide, providing weapons without even Congress authorizing it, money. America should be blamed too, really. This about Yemeni's Houthis say they targeted oil tanker Marlin Luanda in Gulf of Aden. So this is another challenge we have in that region because of US, Israel, and others refuse to call for ceasefire. Instead, they expand the war to Yemen. So now Yemenis are continue to throw their missiles into ships. So instead of ceasefire, the war is now expanded to Yemen and other places. This is again from Reuters. Yemeni's Houthis said on Friday their naval forces carried out an operation targeting, in quotation, the British oil tanker Merlin Luanda, end of quotation, in the Gulf of Aden, causing a fire to break out. They used, in quotation, a number of appropriate naval missiles. The strike was direct, end of quotation. The Houthis military spokesperson Yahya Saria said in a statement. This one is a statement from U.S. State Department about accusation on UNRWA, UNRWA. I think Israel accused it. This is a humanitarian organization working in Palestine. Now Israel is accusing it for some of its employee played a role in October 7 attack. So this is a huge claim, and the U.S. is now has a press statement. Let me read what it says. The United States is extremely troubled by the allegation that 12 UNRWA employees may have been involved in the October 7 Hamas terrorist attack on Israel. The Department of State has temporarily paused additional funding for UNRWA while we review these allegations and the steps the United Nations is taking to address them. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on January 25th to emphasize the necessity of a thorough and swift investigation of this matter. We welcome the decision to conduct such an investigation and the Secretary General Guterres' pledge to take decisive action to respond should the allegation prove accurate. We also welcome the United Nations announcement of, in quotation, comprehensive and independent, end of quotation, review of UNRWA. There must be complete accountability for anyone who participated in the heinous attacks of October 7. UNRWA plays a critical role in providing life-saving assistance to Palestinians, including essential food, medicine, shelter, and other virtual humanitarian support. Their work has saved lives, and it is important that UNRWA addresses these allegations and take any appropriate corrective measures, including reviewing its existing policies and procedures. The United States has reached out to the government of Israel to seek more information about these allegations, and we have briefed members of Congress. We will remain in close contact with the United Nations and the government of Israel regarding this matter. So that is a press statement, very strong press statement against this humanitarian aid organization, UNRWA. And Israel may be accused its members, its employees participated in October 7 attack in Israel. It's a huge accusation. I hope they will do quick analysis. If anybody involved, they should be accounted for. But this is a claim from Israeli side, I think. So should be a very serious one against maybe the most important humanitarian organization helping Palestinians. So I'm suspicious anything coming from that side, so that the Palestinians will not get aid. Now U.S. is already suspending. That's the intention of Israeli government, to end humanitarian aid. Condemning the attacks damaging civilian infrastructure in the Iraqi Kurdistan region. This is again from U.S. State Department. The United States condemns yesterday's attack by Iran-aligned militia groups in the Iraqi Kurdistan region, IKR, which damaged civilian infrastructure and has jeopardized access to power throughout the Iraqi Kurdistan region, IKR. Once again, we stand with our partners in Iraq, including the IKR, against these outrageous and senseless actions, and we urge Iraqi authorities to investigate and bring to justice those who are responsible. The United States will continue to work with the government of Iraq and the Kurdistan regional government in support of Iraqi sovereignty and security. That is the end of today's news coverage. Thank you for spending the time with me. Very wide coverage, a lot of news. The focus is the ICJ and different stance from Israeli government, from Palestinians, European Union, Amnesty International. I didn't get any press statement from U.S. Department. I checked. I didn't see. Maybe they are, I don't know. If they just do a video briefing, I don't know. But I always check the press statement. This is huge, but they didn't release any press statement from U.S. Department. They are angry. They rejected the case. They stood with Israel. And we are all in this global trouble because of the war in Gaza. If the United States supported a ceasefire long time ago, we will not have all this bloodshed, all this destruction, and all these cross-border missile attacks between Iran and Pakistan, between Iran and Iran attacks in Iraq, all and Yemeni, all these operations, and the navigation will be safer. The world will be in a better shape. But the United States multiple times vetoed the Security Council resolution. Cover, they cover Israel from all actions, and they provided money, weapons, unlimited, and plus political coverage, anti-Semitic everywhere. If you say something, very tough one. We are in a very tough world. I hope it will change very soon. That's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me, and please appreciate South Africa for today's victory on behalf of all of us, who advocated for this day, who came to the streets demanding ceasefire. So it's a victory. They should celebrate it, and the Palestinians, they should celebrate it. And we'll celebrate when we have a two-state solution within, the destruction we are witnessing. It can be rebuilt. That's all I'm going to say for today. Be safe. I will be back with other news update. And, we don't know Tamasgan Turuna will be foreign minister or deputy minister. It's not said, but the Habesha broadcasting already said, but the official didn't say. But, just vice president of Prosperity Party. So long, everyone.